It doesn't begin with fire. It begins with stillness, so complete it aches. Pines sway without wind. Ice forms without sound. Somewhere, deep in the black blood of the soil, something exhales, but not with breath. There is no sound, only the suggestion that one used to be. A silence so thick it stains thought. And when you feel it, you don't wonder what it is. You wonder if it has already seen you. The men here don't speak of gates. They speak of the way dogs won't enter certain woods. The way compasses forget how to point. The way the sky over the Kola Peninsula sometimes looks too red before dusk has even considered arriving. There are stories told in stuttering tongues around smoked fires. Not myths, symptoms, echoes. Descriptions of shapes seen between snowflakes that didn't fall quite right. Of old hills that smell like churches and ash. Of frozen soil that bleeds in the spring, black and warm. You don't hear the Hellmouth open, you feel it. Pressure, not noise. Bones grind in joints, teeth ache behind the gums. The blood in your fingertips feels too heavy. No screams, not yet. First comes the moment where the world inhales and forgets how to exhale. Then the temperature rises, not just the air, but the feeling. The snow begins to melt, not from above, but from within. And then, like a blister splitting open, it begins. The light is wrong. Not blinding, but sickly. Like the colour of revelation. The kind of light that makes you think you forgot to confess something. The kind of light that knows where your father is buried. The kind of light that remembers. Forests don't burn, they peel. Deer turn inside out before they can run. Hail falls in reverse, upward, dragging screams with it. The gate doesn't scream either. It laughs, softly, through 7 mouths. This is not war. Not yet. This is the stage being set. The first candle lit in a sermon the world was never meant to hear. But something hears it. From caves carved with symbols older than alphabets. From bunkers sealed in holy concrete. From cellars where the icons have been turned upside down. They hear it. And they begin to move. No orders, no horns, just instinct, just memory, just familiarity. Something is coming. And it's already here. There are places in the world where the veil is not torn, but worn, eroded, rubbed thin by time and ritual and agony until what lies beneath begins to show through. Not in full, never in full. Just enough to spoil the air. Just enough to be felt, like heat behind a closed door. The Kola Peninsula is one of those places, long before the trenches, long before the Kalmar orders or the Redeemer's northern missions. There were fires in this snow. Strange circular ones that never burned out, surrounded by antlered men whispering in dead tongues. Stone altars with no carvings, only grooves, deep, smooth, and stained. This was not wilderness, it was worship, and no one remembers what it was for. Some say the angel Azazel fell here, banished not from heaven, but from beneath it. Cast into the furthest, coldest point of the world to rot alone beneath the aurora's flicker. Others say it's the ley lines, intersecting like a noose, where forgotten tribes once offered their gods men carved hollow and filled with fire. The land remembers both stories. It honours them equally, because it knows something neither tale does. Both are true, and both are wrong. When the Hellmouth opens, it doesn't appear in the same place twice. It isn't summoned, it chooses, not with reason, with resonance. It finds the old altars, the old blood, the old sin, and it answers. Not out of mercy, not out of rage, but out of familiarity. The gate does not search for victims. It returns to where it was once welcomed. There are maps in the libraries of the Synod, scribbled by monks gone blind, half-frozen cartographers dragging themselves through snowdrifts that whispered in perfect Latin. None of the maps match. But they all agree on one thing. This region is hollow. A bowl of frozen light. A cold that doesn't kill, only waits. Coordinates shift like shadows. Roads reappear that haven't existed in 500 years. Churches appear overnight. Crucifixes upside down not in mockery, but in misunderstanding. It is a place that almost remembers holiness. and that forgetting is worse than any desecration. The faithful call it a front, the war in the north. But it isn't a front. It's a scar. It doesn't grow. It reopens. And each time it does, the wound is deeper. The monster's more familiar. The prayer's more hollow. This isn't a battlefield. This is a place that's already been lost. They do not march. They arrive. There is no warning. No trumpet. No thunder of hooves or roar of engines. Only the colour red seeping into the sky like blood through gauze. The trees bend, not from wind, but from memory. The ground pulses. And then, in perfect silence, they cross. The court of the Seven-headed Serpent is not a legion. It is a liturgy. Each creature a sermon shaped in flesh, each movement a scripture written in blasphemy. These are not beasts. These are hierarchies made visible, doctrines moulded in molten brass, wearing the skin of saints. Their armour is ceremonial, etched not with runes, but with names. Names of cities that no longer exist. Names of prophets who screamed themselves into extinction. The first to step through is always the one with the smiling helm. Not a smile of joy. A smile stretched too wide, too human. It does not look at its prey, it recognizes them. Behind it, the others follow, each shaped by a different principle. One burns but casts no light. Another drips something that eats through time. A third walks with hands clasped in prayer, dragging a crown of twisted gold behind it through the snow. These are not avatars. These are not generals. These are ideas that refuse to die. And they do not come alone. Behind the court trail, the broken faithful. Not prisoners, not slaves, pilgrims. They carry banners stitched with things not written by human hands. They chant songs that make the ice crack, not from volume, but from meaning. Some weep with joy, others walk with eyes burned shut, smiling. These are men who do not believe they serve hell. They believe they have returned. They call the serpent many things. Some say it is the original flame. Others say it is the true Redeemer, unmasked at last. They kneel before it. They die for it. They do not ask questions, because the answers live in their bones now, carved there, branded like devotion. This is the most beautiful thing about the court. It never tells a lie. It never needs to. Its truths are sharper. The enemy here is not chaos. It is certainty. And certainty is contagious. To fight in the north is to abandon warmth, not just of body, but of belief. There is no fire here that does not lie. No light that does not betray. The only truth is cold. Not the sharp sting of winter, but the smothering weight of ancient frost. The kind that creeps not across the skin, but into the marrow. The kind that does not end life, but slows it, preserves it, remembers it. The Kalmar knights, wrapped in furs stitched with gospel and steel, do not ride for glory. Their swords are not polished, their faces are not seen. They fight in silence, not because it is strategic, but because their faith has learned to whisper. Screaming here would be pointless. The mountains do not echo, they absorb. The Novgorod legions do not believe in retreat, not out of pride, out of mathematics. Every inch surrendered is another inch gifted to the cold, to the Hellmouth, to the ones who burn and freeze. Their prayers are short, pragmatic, carved into bullets, etched into blades. There is no room for ceremony, only function, only survival. The Church of the North keeps vigil not in cathedrals, but in bunkers sanctified by rot. Their altars are rusted steel plates. Their incense is gunpowder. Their sermons are encoded into field manuals. They do not baptize. They immunize. To serve here is not to be uplifted. It is to be ground down to something useful. But even hell adapts. The Serpent Court no longer fights with flame alone. It has learned to wield stillness. It conjures avalanches that speak in tongues. It sends ice that slithers beneath armor, curling around the heart. Its cold is not the absence of heat. It is the presence of him, the devil of the north. His signature is written in frostbite. His psalms are sung through the cracking of joints. When the court advances, it brings both extremes, fire to blind, cold to numb, and somewhere between them, the soul is severed. Battles here are not decided in charges. They are lost in waiting, in frozen foxholes where the stars blink too slowly, in endless nights where your breath turns to glass and shatters before your eyes, in mornings when you wake to find the man beside you praying to the wrong god, because the frost whispered his name in a voice that sounded like his mother's. The trenches don't rot here, they calcify, and what's buried beneath them doesn't decay. It listens. The land itself remembers. It keeps score, and it always takes more than it gives. He does not walk, he does not speak. His name is Ziminiar, and the north is his silence. No horn announces him. No cult dares name him in full. His shadow moves beneath glaciers that have never cracked. His will sleeps in the spines of mountains too proud to kneel. But he waits, and every time the Hellmouth opens, it opens closer. He is not one of the court. They serve. He does not. He is royalty. A devil of the old hierarchy, one of the four. If ever he wears the head of pride, if ever the serpent lifts him fully into its embrace, the north will no longer be a theatre. It will become a throne. The Council of Saints knows this. The War Cardinal whispers of it in chapels, no longer marked on any map. His personal guard do not bleed. They are taught to scream in reverse, so as not to be heard by what stirs beneath the tundra. The Synod does not record his name in ink. They brand it into the frozen bones of heretics, then bury them at the gate's last known location. If Ziminiar rises, the war in the Levant will mean nothing. Jerusalem will be a footnote, because he is not a conqueror. He is a correction. A final punctuation mark written in glacial tectonics and perfect theological contempt. Mountains will buckle, the sky will split, and every false prophet, every trembling sermon, every candle lit against the night will be extinguished, not by force, but by realization. Realization that they were never right, that their faith was never clean, that this was always waiting. The land knows it. The forests remember. Even the wind has learned to speak his name, in tones too low for men to hear but too loud for souls to ignore. There are those who fight harder because of him. There are those who desert because of him. But none of them understand him. You cannot understand what was made before understanding. You cannot pray away the architect of doubt. He is not vengeance, he is not wrath, he is certainty. And certainty does not scream, it waits.